Well, hello there, stamping friends. This is Traci Raether from Plum Crazy Stamping, and today is September 17th, 2025, and I'm really excited to share with you one of my thrift store finds today and how I'm going to use for a crafting project. These type of thrift finds are awesome gifts. And so today, I don't know whether I'm going to end up giving this to a friend or a family member or just put it on my own mantle, but I am going to make it mantle worthy. So let's go ahead and I'm going to point the camera down and we're going to go ahead and get started. As you are joining me today, please use the comments to let me know who you are and where you're watching from. And if you're on YouTube, please also do the same, but you will have to be signed into your Google account or your YouTube account. Those are both the same account. And then you can use the comments to get signed in there too. So let me go ahead and change the desktop here. And excuse me, we'll go ahead and look at this thrift store find. You know, it looks brand new. I took this out of the center because this is how I measure my paper that I'm going to be using. But then this is just a beautiful frame, and I thought a really nice frame for a fall item too. So let me set that aside. And you know, in the store, I'm not sure, that's probably around $10 one way or the other. And I think I paid $1 or $2 for it. So it was a wonderful find. Okay. So two things I wanted to show you, not only how I use my thrift store finds, but I also want to share a technique with you today of how to make your own ink pad, multicolored ink pad, so that we can do leaves that are all colors. So welcome, Betty. Oh, glad to hear it's nice and sunny in northern Michigan. And hi, Kim. Okay, so let's get started. So the first thing I needed to do was to decide what size paper. So like I said, I took this out of the frame. So if you do have a frame you're not using at home, or you get one at the thrift store, to figure out what your design may look like, take this out. And if there isn't, this piece inside the frame anymore, go ahead and measure what that will be so that you can get your paper in line. So this is 5x7. So I just have basic white 5x7 piece of cardstock here. Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing our design on. Set that to the side. Then let's go ahead and make our ink pad. First and foremost here, welcome, Donna. Thank you for liking this and sharing it. I always like to spread the love here a bit, right? And get more people engaged in stamping and paper crafting. Anyway, I'm just using empty stamp case that I have to start the base of the ink pad I'm going to be making. And I'm actually using baby wipes to build my ink pad. So I've got these wonderful Huggies baby wipes, okay? And I'm just going to take out a number of these. Now, I reminded myself today when I was planning to do this that if you have a couple of wipes, that is better to have a little thicker base to build your ink pad. So I am going to use, let's see here. I think I'm going to use 2, but you're going to see that I am going to fold this up quite a bit. Let me just kind of save this one for next time. So I'll just tuck it back in here. I always like to have these on my desktop, actually, because I get ink all over my hands. And today, with this project, I did get a lot of ink on my hands. All right, so what I did is I'm going to just lay these out and make them flat. I don't want to put ridges in them because I don't want that to affect how the ink goes on the stamps, right? And then I'm going to fold this in half. And then I am going to let's see. I'm going to fold it in half again. Okay, so almost the size of our ink pads. But now I've got a blank slate and, a blank ink pad here. And let's go ahead and begin making this. Now, I'm doing fall leaves today. So I want to take colors that remind me of leaves. And let's see, I'm going to start with a little old olive today. And I'm going to use, this terracotta tile is such a pretty color. It's retired, but I like that color. I think I'm going to grab wild wheat, one of our current in colors, or just retired. Maybe that one just got retired. Let's see here. I am going to go for crushed curry as a yellow. And I think I'm just going to add one more. So this one's going to be pumpkin pie. Okay. So I've got all my colors. Now, depending upon what type of card you want to be making with your multicolored ink pad, choose colors accordingly. And then, go ahead. So where I'm going to get started, I'm going to first take my mossy meadow and I'm just going to drop, ink drops kind of in a random design. Okay. Put that back, the lid back on. Then I'm going to get my terracotta tile and I'm going to do random ink drops. Now, the goal is that once I'm done doing my ink drops, they will all come together, so there won't be white spots. Okay. Then we're going to add a little wild wheat. Now you can tell this kind of just by the nature of the ink being on the wet baby wipe. It's kind of exciting on its own. Let's get a little pumpkin pie in here. That's pretty good. And now I'm going to add my crushed curry. Kind of looks like a mess, doesn't it? But wait till you see the results. All right, got a little extra drop there. Okay, so let me move these out of the way. So this is another great use for your re-inkers. Hi, Sue, welcome. And let me get just a piece of practice paper here. So I've just got some very vanilla. And all of the stamps that I'm using today are photopolymer. So I'm going to use the Pierce Mat, and I'll be bringing that in a minute. But I have a couple of different leaf sets I decided to use today. So this one's called Changing Leaves. So, you probably have leaves as part of all kinds of stamp sets, or maybe you have one that is fall and, part of a set, or you might just have a leaf stamp from your paper pumpkin, or that you bought just randomly, somewhere else. So then I've got different types of leaves here. And then I did find a sentiment. Autumn teaches us that change can be beautiful. So that's what I'm going to put in the frame. Or I have some larger things that we can put in here. I thought make today ridiculously awesome if we want to do a big, bold sentiment. And then alone we can do so little, together we can do so much. Helen Keller, I liked this too. So this was from Stepping Stones And like I said, that first one's from Ridiculously Awesome. So these are retired sets, but I love the size of these sentiments. All right, so let's just play. So I'm going to just slide my made ink pad to the side. I'm going to grab one of the sets of leaves I have here, and I'm going to press down. And then, like I said, use my Pierce mat so I get a good impression. And isn't that gorgeous? I didn't have to pick one color. They're multicolored. Let's check out another leaf. And now the thing is, you can close this up and keep this ink pad for a while. It'll probably stay wet, so you can use it for a couple days. So that one, a little bit bigger in the center. You know, I have another Pierce mat I'm actually going to put underneath this case to give this a little cushion as well, so that we can get, you know, more ink a little bit more easily on our leaf. Okay, let's try this one. Yeah, that's the ticket. Putting another Pierce mat under there helps. Now, because I'm in these baby wipes, you can see this is getting around the acrylic block. So you'll just want to watch that and wipe that off so you don't get rogue color somewhere. And then from a different stamp set, I have some different leaves, just so you can see how they look when you're using this. And so another kind of leaf, and isn't that pretty? All right. So now you've seen the how to make your own multicolored ink pad. And you know, these beautiful colors for fall. So now I'm going to get out the 5x7 that I want to do for my framed image. And the one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a spot, probably higher up here. I'm going to put the, let's see, I'm going to go with Secret Sea as my sentiment color. We'll see if we like that. We can always layer something on top here if we don't. And I have this kind of smaller font on this sentiment. I'm going to see how this looks on this 5x7. And I want to do it first because I want to put the leaves around it. So I want it to kind of anchor its own space. You know, I might decide to layer and put leaves all over this, you know, 5x7 piece of cardstock, but I'm giving myself some options. Now, you know, that is pretty easy to read. So I think I'm going to go with that one. And let me just close this. So once again, that was the Secret Sea. So it's kind of a, you know, between Night of Navy and Basic Black. Hi, Kathy. Oh, I'm glad you're loving it, Kim. All right, so let's start our leaves. So I'm going to start here on the bottom, and I'm going to use this largest leaf and, you know, really pick up some ink there, especially in the center. I'm going to check my acrylic block here to make sure that I am not going to carry ink where I don't want it, right? All right. And then I'm going to go ahead and place this leaf on the bottom here. Okay, so we've got one there. Let's go ahead and ink it up again. I don't know about you, but the leaves are starting to fall off our trees. So I was kind of inspired to do this project today. Let's get another large leaf over here on this side. All right. And you can see little dots because that's kind of from the moisture in the baby wipe. And I'm going to put one up here in the corner. And if you let your stamping block, sit here a little bit, it will help soak up the ink. There we go. Okay, so we've got 3 of those. I'm going to set that off to the side here. Now I'm going to grab a different leaf. Now, if you wanted to, you could have a different color combination made on another baby wipe and, kind of do something more in greens and blues maybe. Okay, let's get this one here. And I'm just randomly stamping to make the background. Okay, and we're gonna pad. They're also a tool when you're doing watercolor. It's just, I love having them and find myself using them quite frequently for a lot of different reasons. Okay, now let's see, we've got these leaves. I am trying not to have them touch and kind of look, a little messy because these are not solid leaves. I don't know that these are the kind I would actually want, to layer. Maybe if I were doing them in a solid color. Let's do one more here. All right. Let's see. All right, what I want to test, because I'm not sure how it's going to look, I'm going to get back my practice one here. And I'm going to see that if I put these, the veins of these leaves, if that looks better or not. And I'm going to use, I think, pecan pie to do that. Get a couple of these other acrylic blocks here. Let me just set my ink pad aside and let's check this out and see if we like the effect or not before we put it on our actual design. Okay, so let's go ahead and do it on this one first. Now, you know, I'd be interested. Do you like that or not? Let's try this one with the 2 if we like this effect. Let's try the big one. So put in the comments whether you like the veining or like it better without. I'll bring back the other one so you can see the comparison. All right, this one's off center a little bit. Okay, so we've got this look and we've got this look. So do you like it with the veins or without? Okay, I have one like it with. Looking for a little more feedback, folks. So let me know what you're thinking. You know, and I could do it on some and not all too. Kathy's liking it too. Vicki, wow, it seems like the veins are winning. They kind of make it look more realistic, I guess. All right. Let's go ahead and put them in place. So I think I'll do all the ones that match one leaf at a time here. You know, it's nice that you have the choice to do it either way. Okay, I think we've got that one done. Let's go ahead with the large leaf now. Okay. Yeah, that one went a little off. Oh well. It's art, right? Oh, that time I got it right where it needed to be. Sometimes it's getting a feel for the stamp itself and how you line it up. All right, yeah, now I've got it figured out. Took a while. Okay, now let's get the double leaf here. Now, don't you think this could be a wonderful hostess gift when you go somewhere for Thanksgiving? Just give them something to put either on their table or on the coffee table. Or as I said, I don't know why I had mantle on the mind today, but I decided this could be a mantelpiece as well. But there's a lot of places this could go in someone's home. And really, you know, how much time it's taking me to make this and the fact that it's, you know, unique and piece of art. All right. So now we've got that. You know, I'm thinking that I want it to be lighter than pecan pie though. I'm going to put a little blending brush into this to kind of soften the edges. So let me grab, whether it should be crumb cake or a yellow color. Let's try. I think I have crumb cake, and I have the new Darling duckling. Let's kind of test this. Let me get one of my blending brushes here. Let's see what a little crumb cake would look like first. Okay, so let's... Oh, that's kind of a very nice brown. I think I'm going to go with that. So I'm going to start off my paper, and then I'm just going to go along the edges. I'm pressing very light. You know, maybe do it just a little darker towards the edge itself. And as you go towards the center of the paper, you know, lighten up on your pressure. I'm going to go very light over the sentiment, just so it's not as white. All right, I like that. What are you thinking with the blending brush color? Do you think that adds? So that was crumb cake. I'm not going to add yellow. Now, the other thing that I have from one of these sets, and I don't know that I'm going to use this, but I do have some of these in regular cardstock and or a metallic. And maybe this is just mixing it up too much. I don't like it. I just like this clean. So let's go ahead and put it in the frame and see what you think. And I do have the thing to butt up against it here. Okay. And there we go. What do you think? Oh, I'm glad you liked the use of the blending brush. So beautiful gift, easy gift. You know, you could play around. So I could cut out leaves that are done the very same way and layer them. Now that might work well. I think the fact that those other papers were so different actually, you know, were just too much of a contrast. But if I made leaves with this ink pad and then, you know, die cut them, I think I could do a little layering on here and make it feel a little bit more full. So the option is yours. Kim, I'm glad you like the idea. Kathy, thank you. Donna, thank you. Okay. Well, let this sit here a second, and I'll tell you, September, we have so much going on. And so I don't forget, I've written myself a little note here. So at 2 o'clock today, I just want to remind you that I'm actually doing a 2 hour card challenge crop, which means we're going to have a challenge item, and I'll let the cat out of the bag right now. We're going to use washi tape, and it's to create cards using washi tape. So if you've not already registered, you'll have a little time here to register before 2 o'clock, and I will watch for you. And if you sign up, I'll send the link to you to get in the Zoom call, because we are on Zoom for the 2 hours. And then there's an opportunity to post the cards that you make in the crop to qualify for a drawing for some kind of surprise. So that's 2 to 4 today. Now, tomorrow, September 18th, on Thursday, Stamping Up is doing a pop-up sale, and it is 15% off all stamps and stamping accessories. So if you have things on your wish list, it would be a great day to go ahead and put an order in. So if you need any help, don't hesitate to let me know. I'd be happy to help you. Once again, it's 15% off just tomorrow. And then next Tuesday at 7 p.m., which is actually the 23rd of September, I'm doing a Fun Fold Fest online class. It's at 7 o'clock at night live, but it will be available and recorded for someone that couldn't attend live. And we're going to do 3 fantastic fun folds. And I hope that you could join me. There is an early bird discount to sign up, $5 off. So with that discount, it's $24.95 for the class. And also next week, I'm trying something brand new. From Monday through Friday, I'm going to do a Create Cards with Confidence 5-day challenge. So what does that mean? The 5-day challenge is a series of 5 videos released 1 per day all week long, going from very basic card making to fantastic fun folds at the end of the week. And you just need to register for this. This is part of my hoping to help all of you gain confidence in your card making. So that will be on Zoom. No, wait, that will come to your email box every day next week. And then I will be doing a live Q&A session on the cards that are part of this challenge on Thursday. And then on Friday, I will do a challenge wrap-up. So those will be in the full information that once you register, all of that will come to you in an email. And you'll be seeing that come out from me on my Facebook business page and in an email in a day or two. So once again, that's all week. Next week, it is something that I'm doing free for you. You know, I hope that you can join me. And then 2 other things. September 30th, I'm doing a bonus class, trying something a little different. I am focusing on the Peaceful Garden Suite, which is going to be a Christmas class. And I'm going to do cards and a gift box. And I'm going to be using all of the things from that Peaceful Garden Suite. Now, if you're liking that suite, it would be perfect if you don't have it to get it tomorrow when things are 15% off. And then you'll have it in time for the class on the 30th. Also, just the sketch program is going well. I have delivered 2 out of the 4 cards for this first month of that program. And in 1 month for $14.95, you get a sketch, 4 different card designs. You get the tutorial for those cards and a introduction video to using that sketch. And this is a monthly program. You can sign up for 1 month, or you can continue to be in it monthly as part of a subscription program. And I'm getting good feedback on that. So I would suggest, if you're interested, you won't miss out. I will give you everything that happened the last 2 weeks, as well as get you started with the new card on Thursday. Those are delivered at 9 a.m. on Thursday mornings. And then lastly, for being on my emailing list. So if you're not on, please sign up. There will be information right here on my business page for you to sign up. There's information on YouTube so that you can be on my mailing list, because I am going to do 12 weeks of Christmas. I'm going to do a Christmas card, a Christmas gift tags or gift wraps, and Christmas gifts, one per week for 12 weeks. And it starts in a couple weeks, and then it goes for 12 weeks. And I think it finishes like the 18th of December. So you will get something free in your email box once a week from me. And that's my way of saying thank you and Merry Christmas. So I'm looking forward to sharing those awesome paper crafting projects with you as a part of that program. So if you're not signed up, make sure you do get signed up so you don't miss anything. All right. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me at Traci, Traci, at plumcrazystamping.com. So that's all I have for you right now, friends. I hope you are knee deep in your paper crafting projects and just enjoying it. And I'll just say happy stamping, and I hope to see you next week in all these fun events. Take care, friends. Bye-bye now.